I'm Denise, mother, wife, and serial entrepreneur with my hands in a bunch of different pots. If it's one thing I learned about business, it's that you don't win without war. There's always going to be struggle, and only the innovative survive. And two, you don't know what you don't know. So leveling up takes a wealth of knowledge. I'm going to show you how to manifest your dreams in multiple areas of your life by speaking to those who already have the blueprint and they're willing to drop those jewels. So join me as we go on this journey to manifesting our highest self and living the life we want. I'm on my way to see a friend of mine. She's more like family, and she has some amazing stuff. She's a momager like myself. I have two kids. The youngest is 1.5, about to be 2, and he's literally on my hip every single day. And that's what I love about her. Nikia, her name is Nikia. And that's why I'm on my way to meet with her to talk to her about her stuff. But what I love about her is that her vision or her process is similar to mine. We both are out here grinding, doing a bunch of different things, but we're moms and we're wives and we have other things going on, and it's really, really hard. People don't understand. Entrepreneurship is already difficult, but it's that much more difficult when you have young children that, kind of they depend on you to feed them, to take care of them, to give them attention. And you also have this business, which is almost like a baby in itself as well, that you got to give all this attention to, and you got to feed it with energy and with your time and your effort and stuff. So it's like a juggling effect. You're juggling two worlds, trying to bring everything together. But it works. It can work. So when people always say, oh, I'm too old to do this, or I have kids, or I have a job, I can't focus on my passion because I'm working. And that sounds crazy to me. I have always found ways to make things happen no matter what. No matter what's going on in my life. If I really, really want something, if I really aspire to do it and to have it, then I go after it. And it's like, instead of finding reasons why you can't, you have to find reasons why you can't miss the opportunity. I can't not do this because I got kids, because I don't want to work this 9 to 5. I can't not do this because I know that this is going to be an opportunity.
What's going on, fitness fam? It's 2021, and this is the year that you bring back your sexy. If you need to lose some unwanted weight, if you want to get in shape, build muscle, I'm the man for you, Sean Beta Trainer. Go to SeanBetaTrainer.com and hit me up. 973-851-2513 is the number. Don't delay. Go to the website, go to Instagram or Facebook at SeanBetaTrainer.com. You'll get some of that apparel. We have power greens for you for your wellness, as well as nutritional coaching and everything that you need. It's 2021. Let's make this year a great one. Sean Beta Trainer.
Hi, Boo. How are you? Good to see you.
Welcome to my casa.
Oh, I see it. What we got going on here?
Okay, so just watch your step.
Okay.
Over here we got we did rehab. We did some gut out. So just watch your step.
Okay.
Here. So this right here is our 2021 rehab property that we have going on.
Mm-hmm.
This is a single family home.
Okay.
It is sitting on 1.5 acres. So right now what we did with this rehab is we have to do a complete gut out. So as you see, we bared it down to the studs. We took out all the electrical wiring. We took out the HVAC. We took the kitchen out. Where you're standing right here is the kitchen. This was a bathroom right here.
Uh-huh.
So all of this is gone. So come.
This is a big job.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Gosh.
So what we're doing with this particular property, we're expanding it. Right now it's at 1,600 square feet. We're expanding it to over 3,500 square feet.
Oh my God.
Yes. So the first floor is it's laid out where this right here, what you're standing in, this is a master bedroom, and then that's a bathroom over there.
Okay.
So we're gonna extend this out a little bit. The front of the house is going out, and then upstairs is gonna be a full second floor. So right now it's just like an unfinished attic.
Okay. Now when you say extended out, you mean like you're building into the backyard?
Yes. Well, I'm building into the front.
In the front yard. Okay.
And then also the back is going to be extended as well.
Okay.
So the kitchen area is we're gonna pop out the kitchen area. Mm-hmm. Then we're gonna also pop out the family area as well. So right here, I don't know if you can see this. This was a bedroom. This was a bedroom, and then the third bedroom was there. So it only had 3 bedrooms in this house. So we're gonna make it to 5 bedrooms.
Oh wow.
5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. Right now it has 2 bathrooms.
Okay.
Okay. But the dining room area is over here. It's gonna be off to the kitchen.
Okay.
So these walls are coming down. We're just waiting for our architectural drawings to come back so we can know which walls we can actually remove.
Right.
Okay. Right. So once they come back, then we'll start, bumping out the back, bumping out the front, and then extending the roof. Okay. So as you can see here, I guess you can't really see because we're not upstairs. Right. But it has like like the traditional.
The slant.
Yeah.
Yeah, the slanted roof.
Yep. So we're gonna still have the slanted roof, but it's gonna be cathedral.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So really high, right?
Very high.
Awesome.
Very high. And this house is gonna be like a glass house.
All glass?
Most of it. So in the front, you'll have that front effect. So back here is where it's going to be pushed out. All of this is going to be glass. All back there is going to be glass. Upstairs, they'll have a massive suite. They'll have a sitting area. Or have like there's a 2-car garage right now, but it's going to be 3-car garage. Wow. But there's going to be a walk-in closet that's the size of a 3-car garage. Ooh. Every girl's dream.
You had to tell me about this. When I was looking online, I was like, oh my gosh, and I saw the all the touches. Like you got it, man. You got it.
Thank you
so
much.
This is not your first one. This is the second?
This is my 4th.
Your 4th? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Okay.
This is my 4th one. Yeah, I did last year I did 3. This is my 4th, and then I have another one that's coming up too. That will be my 5th one.
Okay. Now,
but this is my 2nd total gut out. And a total gut out meaning, we basically gutted out down to the beams, and everything's all new plumbing, all new electric, all new HVAC, walls, everything, floors, everything is brand new.
Wow.
I've been around it for over 20 years, but I've never really done it like on my own.
Right.
And I've always wanted to just experience with getting into it. And I would say November 2019 is the first time I flipped the house, right? So in April 2019, I was thinking about, I need a multiple stream of income. I need another additional source of income because, the boutique life is great, but it's not retirement plan, right? So I wanted to have something where I can, kind of depend on, make, a couple of grand. In my mind, I'm like, I can make 20, 30 grand every 2 months to 3 months. Yep. So I started that way. So the way I got into real estate is I did a deal with my fiance, and, I didn't learn as much as I thought I would learn. I was a little more hands off. I was just like an investor. Yeah. And I didn't feel fulfilled. And I'm like, there has to be more to it than this. I want to get down and dirty with it. And, men, they let you do what they want you to do in terms of like they don't give you all the tools, because I don't know. I don't know if it's a protective thing or what. Right. But, so I told my girlfriend, I said, you know what? I want to do a real estate deal. Like, I want us to do it from A to Z. So she's like, all right, cool. So you definitely need a bulk of money in the beginning. Yeah. And depending on how much the properties are for. So we didn't want to get into properties where we had to sleep outside, worrying about our pipes and copper pipes and stuff like that. Right.
Squatters.
Right. We wanted to get something where it was either 300 or more. Between 300 and 400 grand. Right. So our down payment was more because of that.
It's like 20%, right?
No, we actually, when you're dealing with private lending, it's different. Right. And it depends on, they have a point system, they have, the attorney fees are different depending on the type of lender you deal with. So there's so many different variations to how much you actually need it. Right. But I would say to get started, if you're going in that price range, I would say 40 grand a piece. Okay. So that's 80 grand.
So that's 80 grand.
80 grand.
Okay, you got started with 80 grand, your first property.
Yes.
Okay, what was credit like? Credit has to be on point, right?
Well, no, when you're dealing with private money, you don't need credit. Okay. Because you're paying for the high, you're paying that high percentage because of the high risk. Yeah. 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way up to maybe 14, 15% per month interest only payment towards private money because you know, the risk is high. They don't, you know, they can take the property from you. I mean, they have their own contingencies within your contract with the lending company, but, you know, you're going to pay big bucks for them to close within 21 days, for them to close in 30 days, you know, whereas the traditional mortgages, you know, it takes 45 days to close, and you need good credit. You need, you know, it's just it's a totally different process.
So I think that's one of the misconceptions of real estate, especially investing. People think your credit got to be A1 in order for you to do it. You're saying no, because if you're using a hard money lender, as long as you have the cash to put up, your credit doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it does not have to be. Okay. But you can go the traditional route. You know, go with the you know, the good credit. You can go with the minimum down payment. You can go with the 45 days. You don't necessarily have to go private lending route in order for you to start buy, flip, and sell. So I just want to be clear on that. Okay. The reason why we went that route is because it's more buying power, right? So if you see a property that you love and you want to get it, you know, you have more of an advantage against the average buyer. So let's say, for instance, let's say this house. Let's say this house was $300,000. You know, it was a retail property, so it's on the MLS. Right. We come in, we see it, we're like, okay, listen, we'll give you $320. You know, we don't need a home inspection as is. So higher price. We can close in 21 days. Hassle for the seller. Right. Okay. Close in 21 days, and we can. We're not going through that whole traditional mortgage situation. Right. So they are more. You know, we're more attractive. So the risk is for the seller, the risk is less for them. Right. So they will go with us because it's, you know, it's cash. It's like a cash deal. Right. But so it's technically not.
So you link up with a wholesaler, and I just want to make it clear what wholesaling is for people who don't know. Right. That's the middleman. That's the person that's in between the buyer and the seller. Correct. They make their own little commission for connecting the two people, but they usually have they do the work for you. They already have the property, and then you come, they present it to you as the buyer and say, this is what I got. Do you want to, you know, this? Do you want to buy this? Blah blah blah. So now to find the wholesaler, what do you do?
Well, you just use your resources. So, like I said, they will come after you. Once your name starts to ring bells, they come after you. Now, you go through different realtors. So there's different realtors that deal primarily with investors. Okay. And then in return, they deal with lenders. I mean, they deal with wholesalers. So the wholesalers know which real estate agent deals with investors because they know that that's the way that they make their profit. You know, they don't. Some people post on the Craigslist, some people don't. So it's like a secret society type of thing. Like it's so like private. But yeah,
once you get your foot in, you in.
Absolutely. Okay. But then you have to link up with a realtor that deals with investors and that knows wholesalers. So that will be one of your questions that you would ask if you're dealing with a realtor. You should always have a realtor on your team regardless. Yeah. You should have a couple of realtors because those are the ones who are actually going to sell your properties. Right. And the ones that are going to sell your properties, you want to make sure that they're versed, like they're you know, a lot of clientele. Holistic. Yeah. Like they're not just, I guess, retail. Yeah. Retail real estate real estate agents. I don't deal with retail real estate agents. Yeah. Because they are looking, like their mindset is totally different from, you know, when they come and they want to show me a house, they're showing me a house to sell me the house. Yes. I'm not looking to, you can't sell me. I'm trying to sell a house to someone else. So you have to come in and look at it and say, you know what, this would be a good investment property. Your comps are going to look different. You know, your conversation with me is going to look totally different. You're going to look at a house and say, okay, this has potential to do X, Y, and Z. Right. This is the amount that's in the house right now. And if you do X, Y, and Z to it, you can get this much. So it is totally type of conversation, totally type of different realtor that you need to deal with when you are selecting your realtor on your team.
So how did you get the team built?
Well, let me just first say this. I know, just going back on vision, you brought up a really good point. Like your team don't always see your vision. Right. You know, you have to get them on the same page with you. And sometimes they're not even on the same page with you. So you have, like, it really depends, like you have to really work on developing a team.
Right.
You understand? Like you as an individual, sometimes some people don't really have that team oriented spirit, right?
Yeah.
And you have to develop that. If you want to be productive, you can't do everything. You can't do everything on your own.
Do it all yourself.
You need a productive team, and a team doesn't necessarily mean people you work with.
Yeah.
Team means your husband, your children. Everyone to be in line, right? So you can get to where you need to get to your vision, right? With my team, my construction team, it's all about resources. You know, it's all about recommendations. So I don't usually, I go off of a recommendation. I built my team. I've had different trial periods with different people. It was not always solid, you know? You go through different people. You know, it's like a revolving door. But now that my team is a little more solid, I'm still growing my team. So for instance, like an electrician, I have a really dope electrician, but you know, he has his moments where he's not consistent. So I had to have two other electricians.
Just in case.
Right. You always, when you grow your team, you know, your team will be more solid. You can rely on, if you can't rely on him, you can rely on him. So,
it's like basketball. It's starting five. You gotta bench some players.
Seriously. It's crazy. And then as a woman, being in this industry, it's so, it can be very intimidating, you know, but I am...
Is it hard for them to respect you? Find that you feel you have to get
You have to be confident in yourself.
Right.
You know, if you're not confident, and if you, you know, if you're a pushover, this is not for you. You know, you really have to be level-headed. You have to also be, you have to be consistent, because they're always watching you.
Yes.
You know, and then, like, there have been times where things don't go my way, and I don't know if I've ever shared this with you before when we have our little small talks, but they will piss me off so bad. Like, if they don't do something that they're supposed to do and they try to get over me, and I have to be very thorough and very, like, you know, and then I'll go in the corner and I'll cry. You know, I will cry like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Why am I going there?
Those crying sessions. They're so good. They're so therapeutic.
They are really good. But you know, and they'll know that I was sitting in the out, and I'll cry. I'll be banging on the stairwell, and then when I come back in the house, they're like, all right, let me get out of her way, because she's pissed. You know, and
they don't realize that crying is not a sensitivity like you timid, sensitivity like a bomb.
Yes.
Like you about to blow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but they will definitely take advantage of you. You have to know. That's when your learning people skills have to come in. You have to understand people. This is just because I take this very seriously. Like, I'm a people person, and you gotta analyze people. You gotta analyze their working ethics.
Right.
You have to analyze. You know, if I pay him half today, is he gonna come back tomorrow?
Right.
You know, or is he going to give me a shoddy job? You know, and when you don't know them, it's hard. It's really hard. So you really have to come up with your own different strategies, and you got to stick to it. I don't give anybody 50%. I just don't.
Just period.
I give them, you know, I have to try them out. Because, you know,
it's a good rule of thumb.
It is. People they will get over on you, especially if you're a woman. You know, so there's different ways. You know, there was one particular time where I had an electrician who he gave me 98% of the job and didn't do the 2%. And wanted his full deposit, his full final payment. And he got the permit, we got the permit, the final permit. And he was holding on to the sticker until I paid him his 2%. And I said, you know what? You keep that sticker.
I'll go do it again. Run it back.
I'm going to go to the township. I'm going to get the sticker.
I love that.
And now you got to come back and do your work.
Right.
So, you know, getting it under
your houses too, right?
Yes, I do. Getting it
why is that? Because some people don't stage the house. You find that to be better?
Yeah. 100%.
Better to sell it, because if I can visualize where I'm gonna put my bed and my couch and stuff like that, I'm more likely to just buy, as opposed to a complete empty house.
Think of yourself, like when you walk into a property, you want it to feel like home. You know, a lot of and people don't realize that. You know, coming into a house that's empty doesn't feel like home. Right. And you give people the illusion, when you're staging, you give people the illusion it's not even just about just popping on a bed and a sofa. You want it to feel warm and cozy and inviting. You want to put pillows.
They need to see themselves.
And you want to put like blankets and throws and rugs and fake shoes and hang up, you know, coffee mugs. You really want them to feel like it's home.
Right.
you know, and that's what we do. Like Moms is really focused on building homes for families. That's the goal. We purchased it Valentine's Day. I purchased 3 Valentine's Day.
Oh gosh.
Around last year February.
Yeah.
3. And I did them all through COVID.
Because what is that like? Because I know like a lot of the cities shut
Oh
down.
my God,
You can't
horrible.
get in touch with people at the
Horrible.
city, permits
Horrible.
and stuff.
It was
Workers.
Yes. The workers, it wasn't as hard because, you know, they needed work.
Yeah.
But that whole from March to May, everything was shut down. So it was understood, you know.
Yeah.
But coming back, everyone was so eager to come back to work.
Yeah.
And especially with houses being empty, like a lot of the contractors, they weren't getting any type of jobs because people were afraid to have them in their homes, right?
Yeah.
So they were eager to come into properties where there was no one lived there, so they could work to provide for their families.
Yeah.
But everything is a process. So we have timelines for every single thing. Okay, the framing is this from this week to this week, these 4 weeks or these 3 weeks. Once we do that, then an electrician comes, and then the framers go to this property, to the next property, or they do this in particular. So everything is, you know, is structured.
Yeah, that's how you're able to do multiple rehabs at once.
Yes,
and you keep the same team; they work it all.
Yeah,
all the
and you
properties.
don't have one team do every single thing. That's insane.
Yeah.
So we have a few general contractors. So one of our general contractors, he's whatever they're really good at. You have to find out where they're efficient at, and in terms of keeping your costs down.
Yeah.
And then in terms of you know, how fast they are as well.
Right.
So, you know, we have one team that's really good at framing, for instance. So he would frame, and then we have one team that's really good at toweling. So when all the bathrooms are ready, he'll come in and they'll just towel all the bathrooms. We don't use the same people for the same things.
Okay. Because, you know, I hate those jack of all trades. You're
Oh,
not
God.
good at everything.
No, right?
You're not.
Right.
And the only way we find out is by you making me lose money by doing something that you're
Absolutely.
not really good at and messing it up. Now I got to hire somebody who really is
Absolutely.
good at it to fix it.
Yeah. And you're always going to lose money in the beginning. It's a learning curve.
Right.
You know, and you have to be open to that. There's so many things that, oh my God, I don't know. Like this part is, I hate this part. You know,
gutting part?
The gutting is fine, but the rough, like all the you know, when they come and do the electric, the plumbing, the HVAC, before the walls go up. I hate this part.
The stuff pop up, right?
Not that stuff pop up. I don't know anything about it.
Right.
So if electrician, if the HVAC person, if they ran like a vent over there, I wouldn't have no idea how it's supposed to look. So I'm taking this project as an opportunity for me to really learn that part, because these are the parts that scare me the most. You have to make sure that you have some type of idea of what's going on, because they can wire your house or do the plumbing, and it's all like you think it looks good, but it's not good. You know, so this opportunity I'm taking to really learn the rough, but I hate it. I hate it.
So how are you managing that with the boutique? Because you had 2.
Yes. So I had 2 boutiques at one time. And it's very overwhelming.
Because you're like the face of the boutique. You are the face of the boutique. And you know what I love about your boutique? I love that the pieces, the items, it looks like you handpicked them, because you don't see them in other boutiques. There's so many boutiques online and like actual storefronts. I see the same outfit, the same dress, the same outfit, and with yours, I never see it. I never see it twice. I see it with you, and that's it. I never see it again.
It is. So we definitely. I source as well. Yeah. So that's basically what sourcing is what it's called. And I'm not a trend person. I don't go what's trendy. I go with statement. You know, something that's timeless. Yeah. And then I also try to be accommodating to my customers that are a little trendy. Yeah. And I try to keep it as exclusive as possible. I don't replenish. Right. So once it's out, it's done. Right. I go on to the next style. And I find that works for me. And then also that personal experience, like people trust me when I style them. They trust me. Right. You have to really believe in yourself. Like a lot of people are very they're insecure when it comes to what they feel like they're capable of doing. Right. You know, and you have to believe in yourself, and people don't realize what you manifest, what you think comes, it happens.
Yeah.
So when you think, I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to do this.
You can't.
You're not going to do it. But if you claim it and like, listen, I'm going to do this. I am going to, I said to myself, I wrote myself $1 million check.
I know that's
okay.
Right.
I wrote myself $1 million check, and that said December 31st, 2020. I'm gonna make $1 million. And I put it up on my mirror, and I wrote down my goals, and I had affirmations. I like really believed in myself, and it was just like, girl, like people come to my house like, why would you write this $1 million check?
They don't understand.
And I said, listen, this is my goal.
Yeah.
And I was able to accomplish so much. Like I got to that point, but I invested it into other things. You understand? And I didn't see $1 million liquid.
Yeah.
But I was there.
Right.
You understand? And it was just like, it was so empowering.
Yeah.
It was like during a pandemic. It was
right.
so like after I wrote myself that check, 3 properties. I closed on 3 properties in February.
Leveling up.
You understand?
Leveling
and it was just like God. And I trusted him. I said, you know what? How am I gonna do all of this?
Yeah.
How? With a toddler.
Yes.
With 2 other children. With the boutique. And God was like, you know what? Leave the boutique.
Yeah.
I tell you, my assistant that I found, she found me. She reached out to me. And I'm like, where did she even come from? How did she know? Everything was just happening.
In alignment.
Yes.
Telling you.
And when
that's something serious.
Isn't it?
It's serious.
Isn't it? And people don't really realize how powerful words, how powerful they are.
Right.
And, you just got to believe.
So we trying to help. We trying to give as much info as we can. We trying to change people's lives. And I just want you to tell me, like, from two perspectives.
Okay.
For the boutique. Somebody who wants to open up a store, a flagship store, they want to do clothes.
Find out what God gave you and what your purpose is before you jump into, I want to do a boutique, you know? Right. But definitely source, find a niche. Stick to, find out what other people are doing and try to differentiate yourself from what other people are doing, obviously. Decide if you want to do it online.
Yeah,
store.
Because it's cheap. It's easier to do it online. There's a lot of drop shipment stuff nowadays. It's not as personable. It's super competitive. Online. It's very saturated, in my opinion. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's saturated for the next person. Right. So for that. As far as real estate is concerned, I did the same thing. I found a mentor. I found a woman and I said, you know what, you're going to be my mentor. We're going to have a meeting with you. You're going to tell us about real estate. Oh, you told her what she was going to do.
Yeah, well, see, that's what you have to do. You have to, you really have to align yourself with the right people. Your circles, so you can learn different things.
And one thing about mentorship that I've realized, or I heard too, is that when it's something that you want, when it's somebody who you want to get information from, or you see as an asset, they're most likely busy. 9 times out of 10, you want them for a reason. You want them to be a mentor because they're doing something. So you have to sometimes you have to seek them. You have to be okay with seeking them. Absolutely. And moving around their schedule, whatever they have going on, because they're pouring into you. So with mentorship, you got to be humble and you got to be willing to seek out your mentor. Absolutely. And understand that they are you want them for a reason. Absolutely. And
don't take things personal.
Don't take things
never
personal.
Quit. Never give up, never quit, and be persistent. Yeah. And have different resources, like different mentors. Don't just have one. You got to change your circle. Yeah. If you wanted to get into the boutique world, definitely, align yourself with the right people. Your Instagram should look completely different. Yeah. Start following people that inspire you, fashion wise. You know. Yeah. So it's just carve out a few hours a day towards if you wanted to be an interior designer, if you wanted to do real estate, carve out a couple of hours a day to learn these different industries. Yeah. Knowledge is power. People don't realize that. You have to be very resourceful, within yourself. You have to know what's going on and don't rely on secondary, third, information. Like, know your shit. Like,
Yeah.
know, what it takes.
Right.
For
taking the time to talk to me.
Yes.
I love you.
Take care.
Oh my gosh.